Good evening, my name is Bill Johnston, and today I'm going to be talking about gun violence and also our first year seminar, The Power of Teamwork. So first off, gun violence is an ever-increasing problem in America. We see on the news all the time, like somebody got shot up. Las Vegas just happened, where people are getting injured by guns all the time. And according to the Brady campaign, 33,880 Americans die each year from gun-related deaths. And when you see that number initially, that's a lot of people, but when you look into it deeper, 21,000 of those deaths are by suicide. So that raises the question of whether it's a problem of the guns or the intent of the user. I stand on the side that I think it's the intent of the user. If I came in here and laid down a gun on the table and let it sit for over a year, it's not going to do anything. But until somebody picks it up and has the idea to either hurt somebody else or themselves with it, that's when it becomes a problem. Also, I believe that gun control only works if people are willing to follow the law itself. If somebody is willing to murder someone, I doubt their main focus is going to be on whether or not they're following correct gun laws. 350 million guns are in circulation in the United States, and that's only from guns that are accounted for, not including the black market and other sources to buy guns. And that is around 113 guns per 100 people. So I feel that with all of those guns in circulation, if it truly was just guns being the problem, we would see a lot more about it. The NRA has over 1 million members and like 1 trillion rounds of ammo. So people that are following the laws when it comes to gun rules, if they were the problem with it, then I feel like it would be a lot more present than it is nowadays. So an organization that is trying to take action against gun violence in community is Giffords Law Center. Their slogan is to prevent gun violence. They were started in California in 1992 after somebody came into an organization and killed 8 people and injured 6 others with an automatic rifle. Instead of trying to ban guns or make it harder for people to obtain them, they decided that they would rather go into communities and educate people and inform them about the dangers of guns, and also give them help if they felt they were in a mental state where they could hurt somebody or themselves. So they've had a lot of success. In the county that they helped specifically, they saw a 60% reduction of gun-related deaths. So this success led to Nevada, Utah, Oregon, and other states around them start to adapt the program, and more organizations are trying to take the same steps and help communities and try to educate people and inform them about guns rather than just banning them or making them harder to obtain. So how Mount Union can help? College students are really good when it comes to when they become passionate about something, they can make a lot of change, especially if a lot of people get behind it. So here at Mount Union, we're a pretty close-knit group with around 2,000 people going here. So we can use social media, especially because that's huge in our society today. We can put out polls, we can put out articles on social media to try to get people better informed about it. Also, we can send out mass emails now to all people on campus. As well, there's a Giffords Law Center in Dayton, Ohio, so people are able to volunteer or even work there if they feel so inclined. Also, we have a lot of guest speakers coming to Mount Union often, so we could get a guest speaker to come in and talk about guns, get people's reactions from it, and see what steps we can try to take to prevent them. We can also hold events in the quad. We can table outside of the cafeteria, and we can do certain things during half times of basketball and football games, since a lot of students go to those, and talk about gun violence and other issues. And finally, we have a lot of counselors and therapists on campus readily available. So any students that feel that they are in a position where they could hurt somebody else, or just to talk to, they can go see those counselors and therapists almost any time of the day that they need to. Moving on, my reflection of the class. Originally, I thought this was going to be a pushover class. I figured we would just sit underneath a tree, hold hands, and talk about our feelings the entire time. Quickly, I found out that we were wrong. The power of teamwork, we focused on roles you can play inside of teams, issues you can find inside of teams, how to recruit a team, and also small wins and wicked problems, and how we can try to solve those type of things. We were centered mostly around 3 books, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Do Good Well, and The Promise of a Pencil. I hated Do Good Well passionately throughout the class, It was a lot of common sense things, but there were a few good lessons that you could take from it. It helped, like it did a couple surveys about what problems you find passionate and also help you recruit a team if you need to. 5 Dysfunctions was probably my favorite book. It had the 5 dysfunctions of a team and also ways to solve those. And finally, The Promise of a Pencil, which was the best read, but not my favorite book. It followed Ryan Braun and how he started up a nonprofit organization with just $20 and how it moved into creating over 100 schools in underdeveloped countries. So another part of our class was volunteering. I had volunteer at 2 different sites because Stark Parks had a lot of weird days that I couldn't do, so I could only volunteer there once. The one time that I did, I worked at a place called Quail Hollow, and what I did essentially was sit at a desk and open up this gift shop nature center type thing and tally when people came in, and then also like directed them to places that they needed to go, or like showed them like, yeah, that's a turtle. Like, that was basically it. So that was pretty boring. But the other place that I volunteered was the YMCA. I went there with a couple ATO guys, and that was pretty fun. What I did was I took a few students down to the weight room and made sure that they didn't put up too much weight or try to like hurt themselves with the machines. And then after that, I played some dodgeball. I hit a couple kids pretty hard, but they were okay. What I learned from that, and why volunteering is important, with the Stark Parks, if nobody volunteered there, the parks would probably get trashed and they would end up being dumps, essentially. So the volunteers are really good at keeping that place clean, helping people out, and directing them to where they need to go. I think it would be an awful shame, because we have a lot of nice lakes and ponds and forests around here, if they got trashed and no one could enjoy them. And then at the YMCA especially, I learned more about why volunteering is important. When you come to Mount, everybody says like, oh, Mount Union's a different city than Alliance is, but you really don't understand it until you actually get involved with the people around Alliance. When we went in there, the lady said that a lot of these kids don't have a role model in their life, especially like a male role model that they can look up to. And I'm not trying to say like I'm a role model or someone that they should base their life off of, but like the way that kids interact with somebody that comes from just college, you know, it really shows how important and how much of a difference you're making in their lives. So taking that time out of your day to go help some 5th graders play some basketball actually can really have a huge impact on someone's life and put them in the right direction. Ways to improve the class. Do Goodwill, again, terrible book. Scratch that completely from the course. Also, I think having less options for volunteering would really help. I think if we put, you can work at the YMCA, food pantry, and this, you have these days, find a way around your schedule to do it. I feel like that would be a lot simpler. And then just sign in instead of having to email someone.